The crypto market has been going absolutely insane over the past couple of days. And this is exactly what I've been talking about here. I've been talking about October. The first day of October, basically things went nuts. We've been talking about every single signal that was flashing, showing us another massive rally was coming, that short-term holders were selling, but the strong were keeping it, which was pretty much a bullish influx, and all these different signs of another massive rally incoming. And just now on some exchanges, Bitcoin hit yet another all-time high just last night. Many coins have been going absolutely nuts. All my trades are doing some absolutely ridiculous numbers. Here's a trade we just opened like 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. We're up $20,000, $22,000 actually. And we just put in $22,000. So we doubled our money on that, which is pretty crazy. The bots have been doing some absolutely ridiculous numbers. Just take a look. This coin bot stack was down $100,000 just 5 days ago, maybe something like that. Right now we're plus 20. And if XRP actually gets a good pump going, because XRP is actually one of the coins that was left behind, ooh, this could be so freaking juicy. And I'm starting to realize this is really what we've been talking about for a long time. That whenever these moves are hit, whenever these moves happen, they usually come in like a flash, they are quick, and they bring you to the freaking promised lands in a snap. I've been warning you guys for this, right? Nobody knows if this is going to be the run that brings us to the highest part of the season. But then when you start breaking it down, okay, BNB actually is all of a sudden at now almost 1,200. Maybe in another snap, it's at 1,400. That means it's done some really crazy numbers this cycle. And maybe in the middle, Aptos just slowly but surely trickles its way towards $9. If you told me Aptos would hit $9 a while back, I'm just picking a random coin, right? Many people would have said, maybe, or it's going to take a long, maybe, blah, blah, blah. Same for XRP. A lot of people said back in 2024, if it goes to $1, I'll be so happy. Right now we are at 3, and people are like, they have this same idea of maybe $5 or $10. Once we go to that number, especially if you slowly trickle there, people again put their targets higher, but more importantly, they put it at a number which you previously could have almost not fathomed because you already overtook that first number. So, as I've stated before, and I've stated many times, this is why I've said that the altcoin season already started and that we're just in the earlier phases of it. And right now you can see it. In just a few days, all of a sudden, everything is turned back around. This has been one of the most quiet all-time highs, but like I said previously with our all-time high analysis, where we basically described that usually in a bull market, gold, Bitcoin, they'll reach a certain amount of all-time highs in a bull market. And usually the bull market lasts about 3 years. Bitcoin saw almost no new all-time highs this season, and not even one, I think, 20% daily gain, which historically it's always done, especially to get to its highest point of the season. So from that angle, much was still necessary. Now, if we take a look at current prices, things are doing good, sure, but we're not doing anything groundbreaking. And I keep reminding you that, is this from the daily? By the way, this markup. You can see all of a sudden we're back at 4.2 trillion. All of a sudden we are at some ridiculous number just overnight. And here's the funny thing. Just because it happened overnight doesn't mean this can't just slowly keep continuing. And I think really people are only going to start noticing it when Bitcoin makes a plus 20K candle in a day. It is probably going to happen this season. When Ethereum all of a sudden is up more than $1,000 in a day, XRP goes up a whole $1 in a day, something stupid like that, before people can understand just how fast these things can go. By the way, I'm over in Singapore and I just got a call. And the reason I've not been making too many videos here is because I'm at the Formula 1 and I was at the crypto event. But it's been really fun. Man, do I love Singapore. The first time I'm getting a pass like this, by the way. I've gotten a lot of passes, but never the VIP guest one. So it's another interesting experience as well. But a little negative side is the voice has started to come down a little bit. So I gotta try my best to speak louder here. But man, are these coins just, it's lovely to watch, right? It really is lovely to watch. But before we move on, I want to quickly talk about an interesting project I'm working with here called True. So as it says right here, True isn't a trading interface. It's a self-learning financial brain over on Solana. So what they basically claim is they've got this self-learning AI protocol where AI and DeFi merge. So the idea there behind that is basically that you had Hyperliquid doing all this, getting billions in volume without actual AI, without native copy monetization, and without any layer 2 or designed to train a model. But True combines all three of those. So the idea is that basically every single trade, every signal, every single thing that gets input in this like Solana layer 2, let's call it, it basically lets True evolve in real time. so it can learn directly from all the on-chain data. It's got copy trading in USDC, and every single action people undertake on this, it gets smarter. And what they're basically saying is that before this becomes a mainstream thing in 1-2 years, something along those lines, where you can't really compete anymore with the huge, large companies, this is like a pretty cool opportunity, specifically in the crypto space. It's got some cool potential to grow, and so they're trying to seize that opportunity. But yeah, this is something you like. Let me go ahead and check them out. Here you've got their Twitter, or you can check out their website. I'll leave a link for it down below as well. They've got some different stages for everything. But again, do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor, just showing you something interesting. And that's about it. And I'll remind y'all that this, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. There's no news. There's nothing I can post for you. I've been posting fundamentals over the past couple of days. And there's all these con artists kind of that try to explain it with all these different terminologies. You know really what's happening? It's manipulation. They're trying to get you to sell your coins for cheap because we know, and this is an opinion that many will probably share, we know the White House has been backing this so much. Trump has been pushing it so much. They want to make the U.S. the crypto capital. In my opinion, maybe this is something controversial. It can't fail. It can't right now. They put so much effort and trust into it. If it now collapses, it is going to look so bad for them, especially how funny Russia or China might look at that. It'll be such a funny situation in a negative way if all of a sudden now this crypto stuff comes down 80-90%. I personally think it needs to go up so significantly more before it can crumble down to some extent. But I also think that every single cycle after this, the crash is going to be less and less and less. Not minus 80 or 90% anymore. More probably towards stock market lows, like 30% or so. Maybe 60%, let's say, but not 80-90% like we've seen before. But yeah, so at this point as well, I think we need a longer run, because they want to get all the regulations and all the good stuff. And sure, we can range. Sure, we can go to, let's say, for example, 99K even here in the middle. But I do believe the upside is so much more likely. And I kept always saying, and I'll keep reminding it, or everybody of it, regardless of what you think, regardless of how pessimistic you look at it, it's worth the risk, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is meant to be financial advice. But literally every single day, all I preach about, all I talk about is why I'm buying these coins, how much I'm buying these coins, how much I believe in these coins, and why. And basically also on the site, a little bit of my strategies. When I break it down, a lot of the videos recently here, people have started getting more skeptical, saying, no, we're not going to hit another all-time high. No, we're not going to. We called out saying Ethereum, buy it at 3,900. What happened? We got to 3,900, maybe a little bit below it, and started booming right back upwards. Pretty good call, right? Do we know exactly that's going to happen? No, it's based on probability. Do I also start sweating a little bit if the market comes down that much? I do. Solana went back below $200. You know how much money I lose then? You know how much money I am down when Solana goes down 50%? It is ridiculous because a large part of my portfolio is Solana. I think even just only this bot alone was down probably maybe like what, $80,000 on Solana? Just this one little bot. Why? Well, because even though it's only got 370 SOL in it, which is I think what, 80K, yeah, it can actually buy 5 times that, right? So it buys about maybe if you have $300,000-$400,000 worth of SOL. Right now it's got almost nothing because we're back towards, we're very close towards the upper part of, I can't say the range, but relative to where we were before, we're up significantly. But I think we went back to like 180 something or no. What? Let's see real quick. Yeah, so we put 370 SOL in. We were down 210 SOL. And the 370 SOL we had was then worth less. So that was an interesting situation. Plus, we, of course, were up 30 SOL from what's been able to cash out. So in reality, right there, we're down about 250 SOL. Plus, obviously, the SOL itself becoming worth less. Yeah, very tricky spot. I also just now checked. My BNB is doing pretty well. I made a couple BNB from longing BNB, if you guys remember that. What it basically was doing on the side is instead of just having BNB, since I have a good amount, I realized, hey, what if I keep it in like a nice neutral level where I basically use only 4x leverage, nothing too crazy, specifically for BNB, where the probability of getting liquidated is so freaking low, but I can still act as if I got a little bit more BNB. I wanted to open it in bots on Payonix, and by the way, for that, link is always down below. It's the first link in the description, but I had to go sit down and move money then. I was like, you know what? I want to do that later. I'll just open a nice little long. I said it a few days ago. And BNB has just been absolutely destroying it. I'm kind of really bullish on all these exchange tokens. I made a video about that like last week, but I'm still quite bullish on them. But anyway, guys, just wanted to quickly say what a bullish day, all-time high day for a lot of coins. Happy to see it. It's just the start of something greater. And sure, tomorrow may be kind of negative, but realize what we saw just now. Nobody's talking about it because it happened so fast. The same happens more and more and more over the next couple of months, in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it.